In the stillness of the night, when the world seems to hold its breath and shadows stretch across empty streets, there are stories whispered among those who dare to listen. These are tales that send chills down the spine, that make the heart race and the mind question what lies just beyond the edge of the light. Tonight, let us journey into the realm of the truly frightening, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, and where darkness holds secrets best left undisturbed. It begins with an old house perched on the outskirts of a forgotten village. Locals speak of it only in hushed tones, warning curious souls to keep their distance. For decades, no one has lived there, yet sometimes, on moonless nights, a faint glow can be seen flickering behind its cracked windows. Legend has it that the house belonged to a recluse, a woman who vanished without a trace. Children dare each other to run up to the porch, but none stay long enough to peer inside. One evening, a group of friends, fueled by bravado and the thrill of the unknown, decide to explore the house. Their laughter fades as they approach, replaced by a heavy silence. The door, swollen with years of neglect, groans open with a shudder, revealing a hallway cloaked in dust and cobwebs. As the group steps inside, the air grows cold, and the world outside disappears, swallowed by the oppressive gloom. They move through the rooms, their flashlights casting eerie shapes on faded wallpaper. Each step seems to echo with memories of lives once lived within these walls. In the parlor, they find a faded photograph, its glass cracked, showing a woman with hollow eyes and a smile that never quite reaches her lips. One of the friends, feeling a sudden chill, suggests they leave, but the others press on, drawn by the mystery. In the basement, they discover something that should not be there, an old rocking chair, swaying gently, though there is no breeze. A cold draft brushes past them, carrying the faint scent of lavender and something far less pleasant, something metallic. As they turn to leave, the door slams shut with a force that shakes the foundations. Panic sets in as they pound on the door, but it refuses to budge. The only sound is the creaking of the rocking chair, growing louder, more insistent. Suddenly, one of the friends notices words scrawled in the dust on the wall. "She waits below." Their flashlights flicker as a low whisper fills the air, rising until it becomes a wail that rattles their bones. In the darkness, they glimpse a shadowy figure descending the staircase, her feet barely touching the ground. The friends scramble for escape, but the house seems to shift around them, doors leading to nowhere, windows showing only endless blackness. When the villagers arrive the next morning, drawn by the commotion, they find the house empty, save for the photograph in the parlor, now showing 4 faces instead of 1. The friends are never seen again, and the house continues to wait for the next curious visitor. But not all terrifying stories are confined to haunted houses. Sometimes fear finds us in the most familiar places, hidden in the routines of everyday life. Imagine, if you will, a young woman named Layla, returning home late from work. The city is quiet, the streets empty except for the distant hum of traffic. As she unlocks her apartment door, she feels a prickle of unease, as though someone is watching. She dismisses it as exhaustion, steps inside, and locks the door behind her. As she moves through her apartment, something feels off. Her keys are not where she left them, and a faint scent of cologne lingers in the air. She checks the windows, still locked. The rooms are empty, yet the discomfort grows. She tries to convince herself she's imagining things, but then she notices her phone, placed carefully on the coffee table. She never leaves it there. Her heart pounding, Layla searches the apartment, calling out. But there is no answer. She tries to laugh at her own paranoia, but as she heads to her bedroom, she sees it, a message written in the condensation on her bathroom mirror. "I missed you." The handwriting is unfamiliar. Terrified, she runs for the door, only to find it jammed. Her phone is dead, the charger missing. She huddles in the corner, waiting for the first rays of dawn. When the sun finally rises, she finds the door unlocked, her phone fully charged on the coffee table. She never learns who came into her home or how, and from that day on, she never feels truly safe again. There are stories even older than these, tales passed down through generations, warning of things that dwell in the darkness beyond our understanding. In a remote village, parents warn their children not to venture into the woods after sundown. They speak of the shadow man, a creature that slips silently between the trees, drawn to those who stray too far from the path. Some say he is searching for something he lost long ago. Others believe he is the forest's guardian, punishing those who disrespect its ancient laws. One night, a young boy named Sammy, emboldened by disbelief, sneaks into the woods to prove the stories false. At first, the forest is quiet. The only sounds the crunch of his footsteps and the distant call of an owl. But as darkness deepens, the woods come alive with whispers, the rustling of unseen creatures, the snap of twigs just out of sight. Sammy quickens his pace, but the path seems to twist and turn, leading him deeper into the heart of the forest. Panic rising, he tries to retrace his steps, but every tree looks the same, every shadow seems to move. Then, through the mist, he sees a figure, tall and impossibly thin, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Too frightened to move, Sammy watches as the figure glides closer, its movements silent, its presence suffocating. It stops mere feet away, and in a voice like wind through dead leaves, it whispers, "You should not be here." The last thing Sammy sees is the creature reaching out with hands like twisted branches, and then darkness. When the villagers search the woods at dawn, they find only Sammy's footprints, ending abruptly in the middle of a clearing. The Shadow Man is never seen, but the children never dare the woods at night again. These stories remind us that fear is not always a monster lurking in the dark. It can be the unfamiliar in the familiar, the shadow at the edge of vision, the feeling that something is just not right. Whether it is a haunted house, a home invaded, or a legend come to life, the most terrifying tales are those that remind us how fragile our sense of safety truly is. So, as you listen to these stories, remember, sometimes the scariest things are not the ones we can see, but the ones we can only imagine. And in the silence of the night, when you hear a creak or a whisper, ask yourself, are you truly alone? Or is something or someone waiting in the darkness, watching and waiting for you to notice?